Shout out to all the lifers out here. God bless each and every one of you. Today is another beautiful day. There's opportunity today. I'm going to show you how we find more opportunity. Right now, my mind is spinning and thinking of actually something that's very exciting to share with you. So I'm excited for the show. You should be too. Today's another beautiful day to be alive, my friends. Let's take this day by storm. Let's grow like flowers of the spring into beautiful, amazing people to change the world every single day. Let's do it. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, baby. Let's get that lemon into the water. I already put a lot in there, so I don't want to over lemon myself. And I've been drinking a lot of water throughout the morning. Shout out to each and every one of you for jumping on it. Appreciate you all for being here. Blessings on blessings to be alive and to be here with you all. And, you know, today is a blessing. Every single day is. It may not be perfect in the charts. Things not be exactly how we need them to be. But at the same time, nothing needs to be anything, right? We just need to be blessed. And if we believe we are the opportunity we are, I'm going to show you something that I found interesting in Bitcoin today. Things that are kind of going down in the markets. And we're going to talk about where the price is going. Obviously, nice dump to the downside. If you were in my trading group last night, I talked about opening a short, right, with a stop loss on the 8-hour time frame here. Right when we started, right here in this candle, and boom, for the last 16 hours since that when, you know, we talked about that around, 6 or 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and then I even put out a video later on at about 12 o'clock last night. That did go for the last 8 to 10 hours to the downside for Bitcoin. Let me exactly show you what's happening. So, and that would have been a beautiful short. We went all the way down to $62,765, only to jump back up about $1,000 for Bitcoin on this beautiful buy-up wick to the upside. And yeah, so BTC doing damage today for sure. Hold on 1 second. I got to just clear something off my screen. I was looking at a place on Google Earth, and I don't want to reveal it, if that makes sense. It's not sinister, I promise. Hold on. What else? I just want to make sure. I was deep diving the internet with different locations to live, too. All right, cool. Cool. Let's look at Forex Factory today. Nothing crazy. Pending home sales coming out. If that's something that you fancy, you know, pending home sales right there. Unemployment claims at 8:30 this morning too, which usually can sway the market. Something, you know, that came out. Actual 207, forecast was 214, previous was 212. So less unemployment claims is supposed to be good for the economy, right? But that could also result in a no rate cut at all, right? If there's a strong economy, then they won't cut. So it's weird. It's like a bullish sign for the market. It's a bearish sign for risk-on asset people that want to see them cut the rate, right? The whole thing is the CME watch tool, and that's what we've been paying attention to the last few days, right? And it's been spot on. And so, whoa, hold up. Yeah, so, yeah, okay, so the current rate is 52.5. So sorry, yeah, 52. A second ago, I thought they flipped, yeah. Yeah, so the current rate is 52.550. All right, 52.550, 93% that we're going to stay at the current rate. 6% chance we get a rate cut. And you can see cut is the more idea here as we continue. Next meeting will be June 24th, then July, then we take that August off, thank goodness, for the summer there, and then back to September. October we take off, November, December, and then, you know, business as usual here. But May 1st coming is the next rate. And, you know, I'll tell you what, the market usually will be in a funny way up until we get there. I wouldn't be surprised if it's sideways, up or down. We're going to look at the TA no matter what, but I just want to kind of show you what's happening. This is going to be a substantial date. Just pay attention. There'll be a lot of volatility that day. It's going to be a Wednesday next week, one of my first days back in the in Florida. So we'll be back in the swing of things by then. Hopefully, the bigger studio will be built by then for sure, and I'll be back in the swing of things by then. I don't see why not. So blessings on everybody to be here. Thank you so much for jumping on into the live. So things we want to pay attention to and just watch for the coming week. All right. Is Bitcoin going lower? Is this devastation? Is Sammy the biggest bear you've ever seen? And is it all is it over? Should we sell all our altcoins? Should we pack it in, wait for 40K and come back again? Is this it? Is this the end of the rally as we know it? That's what everybody wants to know. Some people have decided it is such. People are leaving the market. People are leaving Google searches. You can see less people are looking for Bitcoin. Less people care now. They've pretty much beat down the will of the average person pretty hard. I'll tell you that. I mean, this is a shoulder. That's a bit of a head. That's tending to be a right shoulder. And that tells me that we could see a pretty nice move further to the downside. All right. And it just, looming is this 618 golden pocket that we've been just waiting on for so long. A gap in the VRVP below this high volume node. Now you can see how big 67,002 was. Had we broken above that, that was a high volume node. We could have actually charged all our way up to some crazy highs. So it's almost like they couldn't let us get back above that key level. It was too exciting. I couldn't believe when I saw 67.2, because that's the level I've been talking about on the weekly over and over again. When I saw that, I was like, wow, 67.2, we could do damage there at 67.2. All right, so shout out to everybody here. So this could make a nasty right shoulder to the downside. I am bearish when I lose the 200 on the 8-hour time frame and I'm below a high volume node. It just makes sense. I'm going to come to the next higher volume node. That's down at 52,000, 53K, right? Does that mean we're guaranteed to go there? No. Could this be a higher low? Yes. Let's break down the bullish and the bear scenarios for Bitcoin today, and I'm going to give you what I believe the probabilities are based on the charts. See how I got out of that? Well, what I believe what the probabilities are based on the charts and based on the math and the data that I've been presenting for a while now. So I told you how, this was a key area, 67.2. We needed to break back above it. We did not. Then we talked about how the 4-hour had to break back above its 200 SMA. And I said, if we do not break above that, look for more downside. We didn't get above that. We saw what? More downside, right? Instead, we made a bit of a Bart Simpson, an M pattern, really, and M's break to the downside 68% of the time. So if you trade your moving averages, you knew you got rejected by the 2 and you knew you made an M pattern. If you trade the VRVP, you knew you lost the what? The POC, the high volume node, which brings you where? Through the gap to the next what? High volume node, which you usually fall down to the value area lows here at the level, you know what I mean? Unless out of nowhere we get a crazy move out of here or something happens, which is anything is possible. But right now I remain bearish because Bitcoin can't get back above key levels and was subdued by the 200. If you take away everything but the moving averages, that 200 SMA, 200 moving average, the simple moving average here on the 4-hour time frame said, no way, Jose, thou shall not pass. Sad to say. That's what it said. All right. Thou shall not pass. So that's got, and then once you couldn't get above that, I looked to the 8-hour to lose its 200. And once it did that, I become a bear. You see? Very simple, right? The way I trade makes sense. Because if we get above it, we're bullish. So if it's the other way around, it's bull city, Now, what's interesting here is something I didn't, you know what I mean? That's why I'm always open-minded. Could this be a shoulder? Is this a head? Could we make some type of right shoulder? Seems a little more far-fetched than this one. But I could see how beginners could get, hey, what do I do now, right? And that's why the moving averages really tell a story for Bitcoin. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out of this present moment right now as we're at 67.3. Seems like we can hold there for at least a couple minutes while I whip out into the weekly and I just break down my weekly sauce for myself. I do this for myself. And I said, if I'm going to do it for myself, I might as well do it for everybody else. And people caught on. And that's really what the channel was about. I said, I'm going to analyze the market every day. I'll do it in front of people just because it will keep me honest. It'll keep me doing it every day for myself. So I knew once I made a channel, it would make me more responsible. So the channel was really just a way for me to keep my own promises to myself. So I started the channel and I didn't even know how many people would really watch or care about me. I just knew if I just went out there and made it happen, and then we had 3 people, then 10 people, then 12, then 14, 15. Then there was 60 for a while. I think I streamed to 60 people for a good amount of time. And then there was a few hundred. And then recently we had a massive breakthrough in November where we breached through 800 to 1,000. And then the channel just kind of blew up ever since then. It's been out of control. So, and the market blew up. Bitcoin got more popular. The halving's coming. There's just a lot to talk about. So again, away from the 21-day moving average here on the weekly time frame, losing 65.5, bouncing twice now, almost 3 times. Actually, you could say 4 basically, almost. But bouncing off of 59,060K area numerous times. The 21 coming closer into price action. The 80 crossing the 200, which is a more bullish sign than bearish, right? Moving averages getting a little far apart, but they can get pretty far apart as the weekly continues. We could tell the time to get in was when the weekly were tight, and when we had this bullish div here on the weekly, we called the bottom for Bitcoin numerous times. We got in at 19K. We called this move here. We called that move there. Anyway, it is what it is. When we went to the 5-day, I talked about if we got above the 200 SMA, not to worry. Everyone was calling this a bear flag going down. Once we closed 2 candles above this, I told you we were golden. Stop loss on the other side. Ever since then, that trade is still in the green. Now, technically, you have a high, you have a low, you have a higher high, you have a higher low. We would have to break this high, in my humble opinion, to crush the bull market. Because a bull market is defined by a trend above the 200 SMA on a major time frame from like the 3-day to the weekly. And that's what's happening right now. A bear market is a trend, right, below the 200. So like once you have a bearish trend, low, then a lower high, and you're below the 200, you're in a bear market. I don't care what anyone tells you. Once you're above it and you're in an uptrend, you're in a bull market. So this is a bull run. That's a bear run. You can flip them upside down. They look identical. The bull run would be the bear run. The bear run would be the bull run, and yada, yada, yada. You have to understand these concepts and see the bigger picture too. It's all about seeing the bigger picture, seeing where we're at. At the end of the day, this just is like, could just be, even if we come down even lower, even if this is what happens here on the daily. Let me just get rid of everything that I did there because that's a little, a lot. But even if this just becomes, a bunch of chop for a while, that's still a bull flag, right? For Bitcoin, right? And you could still see, 88,000, 100K, and you know what I mean? And the more you consolidate sideways, the bigger the move could come to the upside. Like the faster you keep moving up, the faster you come down. So you're better off doing some sideways price action here for BTC. You're better off seeing this type of momentum in the long run, in my humble opinion, right? That still looks like a shoulder. That looks like a head and shoulder on the daily time frame. I just outright have to call it what it is. I mean, that's a bearish head and shoulder. Period. You could kind of do this, something like that. I don't know. It's pretty wacky how these don't line up. You don't get like a nice touch. You have to use this outer layer. It's a bit odd. Anyway, so we're going to dissect this from the weekly on. But anyway, so could we come to the 21? There's a chance we could. We don't always do that, but there's a chance we could. 1, 2, 3, 4 now red weeks for Bitcoin. All right. Which is pretty crazy. If we close this week in 3 days and 10 hours, we will have 4 weeks in a row of bearishness. And that's all it takes. It's funny. You could give people 20 weeks of like how many weeks? 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? People can just get so much green and they get 4 weeks of red and they're done. People have been capitulating out of the market. They really have. They can't handle it. It's been too much for them. The 10-day showing signs of bullishness. It's interesting. The 10-day showing some bullish signs, right? We'll watch how this candle closes in 4 days, but we'll see what the 10-day, where it ends up today too. The 8-day with a bullish pin bar, a bullish hammer on the 8-day chart, which is interesting. I haven't looked at it before, 7-day more bearish, 5-day a little more bearish. The 3-day having these beautiful, and then have, green candles and then a bearish engulfing candle. It's what I've been looking on the 3 days, like, and it's been hard to make sense of a clean pattern. I saw something today that I'm going to show you that makes more sense, but it's just been, it's been a messy couple of weeks in just price action. Been good for trading, scalping. Scalping's been amazing on the 1 minute. Smaller time frames have been good. Shorts and longs have been paying. So the volatility is there for gains. You know what I mean? But the other day, even Tuesday, we had some sideways price action for hours on end though. So to me, look, the 3-day chart, when the 21 and the 200 get really far apart, specifically when these get far apart too, it usually does tell a story. And like, this is a shoulder head. And I'm just seeing a head and shoulder all over the board, which is telling me there's a move coming to the downside, right? Losing the high volume node, the gaps in the VRVP. Here. Like, could you come to 42K? It looks like it just, it wouldn't be hard to do. Yeah, it wouldn't be hard for us to go further down. Bitcoin's struggling right now as we speak, so I'm seeing bearishness for BTC. I hate to say, that's what I see. I just show you what the charts say. The charts say this could get ugly and could get very worse. And now the trend, low, a high, a low, a lower high right now. And so the daily is now going to close its second red candle. We had a nice little 4 days of movement all the way back from 60K. Look, 1, 2, 3. Ever since the halving, we've had some nice movement. So the bearishness is this is a head and shoulder pattern beginning. Okay. No one knows for sure, but still time to open up a short with a stop on top of the, So there's still time to short. Again, it's weird to short right after a halving for me. But again, the charts are just telling me what to do. What I like about it is if I lose, it's not that big of a deal, right? If I win, it could be a bigger payoff. So it's almost a little bit worth the risk here for the short. But to me, that looks like a short's brewing to the downside for Bitcoin. And look, the stochastics are even setting up for a pretty much, boom, that could just cross. Yes, it could go the other way. I've seen it. And we could get a huge pump the other way. We could liquidate the shorts and be at 80K. I'm open-minded. But right now we're having heavy selling from Grayscale. They still have tons of Bitcoin to unload. You got a lot. You don't have retail in yet, really. And you got a lot of capitulation and a lot of, people, Let's take a look at the fear and greed index. You'd think it would be higher than it or lower. They still see. It's weird how the fear is lower, man. I'm here or here. Personally, the way I see the market, the way I see Google, you know what I mean? Not me personally, but the way I feel out where the market is, we're somewhere over here, man. Last week we were at 57. You're telling me we're back to 72 already? I don't know, man. I just don't see the greed like that right now. I don't, but I think that indicator needs a check. But that's me. I've been in the market a long time. I can read the vibe. So look, when the 21 curves and you lose it and you come down and then you lose the 50, you'll test the 80, and it's very likely you're going to come and test this 200. If we don't test the 200 MA, we don't test 52K, I'll be surprised at this point. It'll be a really good fake out because they lost this. You got the gap here. You got it looks to me, and they're even setting up for a head and shoulder pattern. It's all there for you. It's telling you that there's a down move coming. So, if I was telling you it was going to be a move to the upside, everyone would believe it better. We get tight moving averages. We pump up to the 200. We have gaps in the VRVP. It's an inverted head and shoulder. We even have the stochastics kind of flat. That's a bearish cross already even, and they never even made it to the top of the line yet. So to me, yeah, and look, you're already, at the 67,700 entry, you're already in the money here. So now we can look for bigger. So I see a move to the downside for Bitcoin based on what I'm looking at. Period, right? I see a head and shoulder here now. And the markets will speak to you. They'll tell you what's likely going to happen, whether you want to listen to them or not. They will tell you, okay? And you got a bit of a shoulder, a head. This is kind of like right shouldery too to me. I would not long unless you get above the 4-hour 200. That would be my catalyst for, okay, I'm wrong. I'd be like, okay, I'm wrong on the short. Let's switch long now, But right now we lost my key indicator, the 8-hour. And so, and now it doesn't mean I still won't dollar cost average into Bitcoin on a red day. It's a red day, so that means I have to DCA. Whenever Bitcoin's down, I DCA. I don't like to buy into green days, right? So now this brings me to this bullish divergence on the 1 hour that I found this morning, which tells me, hey, right? And so what I came down with at the end of the day was this symmetrical triangle, right? Remember, I've done all this TA before. I'm just rebuilding it for you, showing you what I'm seeing in the chart. So insurance short right here, in case we take a massive dump, because we may, who knows? But I believe it's smart to open up a short here, all right? Now, this divergence says we're going to get a bounce. So this may be the bounce first, but So you got this divergence here now. This indicator called it. I can see it, right? Lack of bearish momentum, pretty flat here. And, you know, so if you revisit, if you get it back above the 1 hour 200, that'll tell you you're likely can bounce back up here. But this does have kind of shoulder, head, and right shoulder vibes for me. Take a look at the 15-minute, and the 15 minutes in some chop. Just not looking lovely. Shoulder, head, and kind of a right shoulder there. And you got resistance here. So you got resistance. No worries. I love you. Are you okay? If you want to, yeah. Whatever you like. I love you, my love. I love you, sweetie. Okay, so if you can get back above 64,363, that's resistance. You know, so that's, you know what I mean? But I'm a bear right now. I'm sorry. And 63.5, what a nice place to short, too. It's like a key area. Now, the divergence says we're going to bounce back to the upside. But look at, I mean, even Big Red tells me he's on my side. And we're going to go lower down to 60,000, 59K again. There's a bunch of orders below us that are darker and redder. And Big Red usually don't play. So I see more downside for Bitcoin, everybody. I'm so sorry to say. All right. That's what I see. So you got to short this puppy, get some money on the other side, flip it, and then buy altcoins on the low. That's the plan. That's the opportunity here. The opportunity is either to sit on the sidelines, wait for better prices, or short this market with us. Okay. You know what's interesting is I wanted to talk about BLOFIN, you know, and BLOFIN's definitely awesome, interesting new exchange. And they launched Gummy exclusively. All right, so you could have gotten Gummy only really through, you know, Gummy itself, but also here on BLOFIN. And if you see it, it banged to the upside pretty nicely, right? All the way up 500% gains on one of BLOFIN's first really, you know, coins that came out, still holding gains of 227%, right? And, you know, that's the whole Gummy, you know, crypto banter Gummy community, you know, just relax and take a Gummy. But the idea is this, you know, more is coming for BLOFIN. Definitely something you want to look at. BLOFIN is linked in the comment section today. If you want to jump on in and open up a BLOFIN account, something definitely you want to look at. So they launched Gummy exclusively, and we'll be looking at Gummy. It doesn't look like Gummy may be done. Gummy's still one of the strongest performing coins right now. And so there's always opportunity out here in the market. Just remember that. Shout out to BLOFIN. And, you know, jump into the BLOFIN today. Open up a new, you know, account, because you never know if you need it for something else, because sometimes like KuCoin, you never know. I'm just saying, I always would have a backup exchange whenever I'm doing, you know, crypto. What I like about BLOFIN is a lot of people don't want to KYC with MEXC. If that's not the case, you can always go to BLOFIN. They're going to open up way more spot. All right. That's something that I asked them. I said, can we have way more spot? I want more spot. So look, can we get the reversal? So far, look, you got an inverted head and shoulder on the 1 minute. So I was bearish, right? What's the bullish scenario? I mean, look at this inverted head and shoulder, beautiful on the 1 minute, that reverse price action back to the upside. And could we make a move back above the 200 MA right here? If we can break the 200 MA, then we'll probably go for a little bit of a short squeeze. How good it will be, who knows, right? But right now, I mean, you're likely to get a move back. Let's watch this. There could be a move here back to the upside. Look what happened. This is very interesting. I didn't get a chance to look at this, but look, shoulder, head, right shoulder to the upside. Shoulder, head, right shoulder to the upside. Cup and handle, cup and handle. It's almost looks it's about to make one here. Look, a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder yet again. So the battle for 63.5 and the battle for the 200 MA on the 1 minute time frame. This is where I'm at right now. Interesting. So does this bullish divergence hold off? I mean, normally this bullish divergence would hold off. Just because I'm seeing bigger bearishness, I'm more biased to the bear side now. Right? You're like shoulder, head. Like, can you make a right shoulder break out? Tight moving averages back to get above the 200 and start to rip again. So what's the bullish scenario for Bitcoin? Yeah, the bullish scenario is that we're in some type of, like, you could even say maybe in an ascending triangle here. Hold up. This is the Hail Mary right here. That you're in this and you're going to bounce and go sideways and break out of an ascending triangle. Get back above the 200 on the 8 hour. You see, like, you know, make this a higher low. Break through here. So, like, to me, Bitcoin has to break back above 67.2. It breaks above 67.2. The whole story changes, you know, because, again, we break back above 65.5, the level that I yell about every day. We break back above 67.2. We hold 2 weekly supports, and we're on our way back to the all-time high again. All right. So, like, such a key level for me now in the move back to bullishness. And this is such a key level for me. We're either going down the tubes or we're getting to move back to the upside here. And today is really going to tell a story. So today is Thursday. Usually the market gets really low in volume too by like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Not my favorite day to trade, you know. The mornings aren't bad. I'll trade Thursday morning all day. Even into 11 or 12, like right now. There's some volatility, right? But once like 12, really 2 o'clock comes around, it's pretty much over, right? Okay. And did the Celtics really lose to the Heat last night, or was I dreaming? I think I was dreaming, right? That didn't happen last night. Oh my goodness. Couldn't hit a shot towards the end of the game no matter what, man. So sad. When it rains, it pours. Bitcoin dumps. The Celtics lose. The whole world's going down the tubes. Nah, but so a beautiful divergence here. Can we... It just, to me, like, even though I know it's a good divergence, we're below the 200. So, like, I'm not getting bullish until I see the 1 hour break this 200. Then fine. I would ride, you know, I would take a trade possibly back to the top of the range. You see what I'm saying? So here's the deal for Bitcoin. Like, can we get back to the top of this range? Can this divergence hold us? You know, to me, it just doesn't look likely. You know, I'm more of a bear. See, like the 63.7 entry would be still in the money right now. Right? So I stick to this idea that, you know, we go lower. 63.5 is a battle right now. And you can watch it on the 1 minute chart here to see what's going on for Bitcoin. But Bitcoin's been in chop, been in a battle for a while now. You have ETF buying, you have retail buying, you have people learning about the halving every day. You have countries losing money left and right, right? It's interesting, like the the geopolitical environment that we're in right now, and how many people are struggling all around the world due to inflation. And Bitcoin's more popular every day, yet at the same time, it's getting dumped on. It's pretty crazy to me, right? Even though it's getting halved in the halving. Like, also, we have miners capitulating. At the same, you know, I have to be honest, the miners. You have a lot of miners that may be packing it in. And you look at me like maybe I'm crazy, but I just, you're making a bunch of money, you're getting residuals, you've made as much as you could, and then maybe they're going to run a few more, and then that's it. You know, that doesn't mean there's more room for big boys, but it'll change the landscape a little bit. Bitcoin's never been this scarce. Remember that. It's also a new thing for Bitcoin ever. So you need the 1 hour to get back above the 200. Otherwise, I remain bearish. And the same as like the 15 and the other time frames, you know. It's a beautiful divergence. It says that should be your low for the day right there. But I'm not buying it right now. I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it. I'm buying more of a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder there. You see that? Shoulder, head, right shoulder to the downside. And Bitcoin must break back above 63.5 now. And this is our resistance now. 64.350, right? Like right here. Look, I mean, you got to get back above. You're 1,000 away from my must get back above area. The high volume node, 64.385. We'll call it. You know, resistance, 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 resistance. So I don't mean to be a bear. I just have to be when I see the market doesn't look the way it's supposed to, right? So the market will tell you what it's doing, like whether you want to believe it or not, right? The market will tell you what it's doing. So shout out to the 1,495 people here on the live, 360 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. So what am I doing in this capitulation stage? What is my plan? Well, I continuously buy BTC. Even at these lows, I nibble at it because you never know. You know, and here on MEXC, 0.1% spot maker and taker fee, 0% future fees, and 0.2% taker fee. So I'm always on spot, just grabbing a little more Bitcoin, right? Especially at these lows. Even if we go to 42 or 50K, this is where I start buying about, you know, $1,000 or more. You know, this is once we get into the, you know, these lower areas, like I can't chase into Bitcoin at 75K. So if I can't buy 75,000, then I have to buy 63.5, right? So there I'm buying, look, I just bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. And then I also begin to add to my portfolio into specifically RWA coins right now. Like I've picked my main RWA coins that I want. You have to pick yours. So do the research, find out about real world assets, understand what they are, and do a deep dive. You know, I'll help you a little bit here because I'm a nice guy. All right. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. Another guy saying you should be taking his financial advice. This is something that I am doing. All right. And there's opportunity right now. Number two, there's another opportunity is to look at some BTC pairs. So I'll look at Sol BTC. I'll look at a bunch of BTC pairs right now and just see if there's anything out there that catches my fancy or that looks interesting to me. Okay. Funny, FTX token up a little bit, right? Trios. And I want to look at the bigger time frame, see if we're starting to bottom on the weekly here. Like ETH BTC is eventually, look, it's got like a bit, kind of a massive cup and handle over time. But it's just continuing to make this falling wedge that eventually you could see, like, eventually this is going to turn. It's only a matter of time. And when it does, ETH is going to beat up on Bitcoin because altcoins are going to run, right? And so you can see, and now we can even take a fib and you can almost tell, like, so we're not even at the 618 yet or the 786, which is, could be, you know, so we could, the alts could still capitulate even more until we get to this key level here. That would make sense, right? You ran it up, you come back down. It's taking time. It takes its time. Bitcoin has been beating up Ethereum since September 12th of 2022. Okay. So something that I would look at for like, okay, is there going to be, you know, and then I'd be watching Sol BTC because Sol really has been the, you know, the biggest mover comparatively to Bitcoin. We got this first run up to the upside. Since then, it still is holding a higher low. So if we look at Sol BTC, right, the weekly is very oversold. And it shows signs of like, you know, when are we going to slowly be, you know, we could go lower, but that nice move back to the upside could keep us inside of an ascending triangle. Why do we look at Sol BTC? Why do you look at anything Bitcoin? Like, well, this is how you trade an altcoin for Bitcoin. It's called Bitcoin, you know, basically BTC pairs. You're also getting a golden cross there on the BTC pair, which is bullish. A low, a high, a higher low. This would be interesting to watch. So if this capitulates and comes back down, then we know the whole market's just, you know, moving in a way. But if this kind of comes back up and down, then we know things are starting to somewhat stabilize. And then altcoins are going to go up, like Bitcoin's going to go up, and we're going to eventually get a bigger move to the upside. We're also going to take a look at tether dominance right now, another key area that you want to pay attention to. I have a dentist appointment today at 1 o'clock, if you can believe it. And I think it's a smart thing to do right before I leave I go to the dentist. You know what I mean? So I get one last dentist appointment with my dentist. Now, I had this dentist since I was a kid, like 3 years old, and I'm older now. I went to New York, had a different dentist for years, of course, but then came home, went right back to the same dentist, and what do you know, the waiting room everything was exactly the same. Old school Boston style, man. And they're so nice. They remember me, and his grandfather lived with his grandfather lived with my great uncle together as they got older. So like our families knew each other, you know, bricklayers. Funny. He became a dentist. His sons became dentists. They run a beautiful practice here in Boston, Mass. So U.S. tether dominance starting to get up there, but it is at the high, you know, it's hitting a high point of momentum. Like when you cross this dotted line, that's good momentum. But, you know, boom, boom, boom. How much more does it have now? Could it be making a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder? See, I'm open-minded, and I just, instead of telling myself I know where the market's going, I just look at the charts, man. And you wouldn't believe, the charts could show you a black swan before it happens. The charts can show you so much. Like, if you pay attention to the charts, you'll never be truly, truly surprised. So, like, if this weekly breaks back above the 200 on tether dominance, that's going to be pretty bullish for tether dominance and pretty bearish for Bitcoin. So, that's something I would watch very closely here. The next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I would not want to see, or even, hopefully not in a week, but I would not want to see a weekly candle closing above the 200 MA on tether dominance. We'd much rather see that taking a chill pill. Our 3-day chart, very overbought, wanting to curve back down. Some say it did break out, though. You could say, let's see, did it break out or is it inside? I'm cool to still say it's inside, but, if you say it broke out, then you're more on the more cautious side because you're looking at I like to put myself in what could be the more worst scenario, right? Then make it look like it's better than it's not, Like, why not act like it's worse? Like, if I'm going to go out sailing with a group of people, I'm going to be prepared for if it's a beautiful day, I'm still going to be prepared for what could be, because weather can change out on the water. I've seen it happen. And just the same as in trading, anything that I'm not in 100% control of, like the weather or the market, I'm going to look at both scenarios. So, can we get above? So, watch this 12 hours. See how it's getting rejected by the 200? This gets above it. This thing is going to continue to moon out that measured move. Otherwise, we could see a shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, and boom, right? So, like, wow. Today's going to be a big day. Like, in the next, 9 hours, this candle will close. Let's see us not get back above the 200. So, I'm going to be watching Tether on the 12-hour time frame. And you'd say, why the 12-hour? You know what I've learned now in the last... See, I learned all these different time frames. Then I learned how to use many different time frames in tandem, back and forth, in between each other. And then what I did is I started understanding the relationship between the moving averages and the time frame. And then eventually I learned that some days you want to be more keen on like the 4-hour, and some days you want to be more keen on the 8-hour, and some days, and it's like maybe the market maker is choosing different days, but I see significance now, and that's super confusing. If someone told me that when I first started, I would be like, certain things I do now are past they're almost hard to explain. Like, you just have to get to the level I'm at in trading and they'll start to make sense. You know what I mean? It'll just take its time. And I'll stop saying, you know what I mean. So, it annoyed me too. I'm like, stop it. Don't do it again. And I got to watch what I say whenever I say it. It's funny. I was listening to some spaces and jumping into some live streams recently, and there's a lot of swearing in the crypto space, huh? Like every single, I gotta get this is done, and and it was cool, but I also wish we had less, and I don't know what it is. Like, swearing is fine. I don't mind. I'm not saying I'm a saint. I'm not saying it's like it can't slip out here and there, but I just, it's not good for your kids to see. It's just not in general. The less we do it, the better, right? And the whole space tends to swear a lot. I just find it interesting. So this was that Bitcoin dominance thing that we did recently. So oversold on the stochastics on the 12-hour for Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance wants to make a bit of a move to the upside. So here's the deal. If Bitcoin dominance pumps, which it says it's going to, and Tether dominance gets above that 200 in tandem, that means that we're going to see capitulation, because that means people are going to run out of altcoins into Bitcoin and out of altcoins into Tether. Okay? So just something to think about and to pay attention to. Hedera booms 21%, uncloaking the factors behind the rise. Oh yeah, that's funny. That's an old, look how old that is. That's so crazy. Why that would even be there. August 15, 2003. But anyway, so this is going to tell the story. You do not want to see Bitcoin dominance pumping with Tether dominance. Why? That's when the market's taking a beatdown. All right? Trust me on that one. And it's starting to set up like possible. So we want to see Tether dominance get rejected by that 200. It's important. All right. And look, here we go to the downside. As I said before, 63.7 is when I would open up that short. It's when I talked about the short and went over it. And here we are. And look, making the right shoulder now as well for Bitcoin. So I have to remain short. I apologize. There is a beautiful divergence here. That could hold, but it doesn't look likely. And remember, Bookmap has liquidity below us all the way back to 60K. It looks like we're going to take a little journey down to 60,000. And even if we just capitulate the length of this, yeah, there you go. There's 60K right there, like spot on. I mean, my measured move to 59,958, and there we go again, back to the downside. Everyone thought the halving, see what they did is they got the halving and they wanted to pump it up a little bit just to make you think, oh yeah. Only to capitulate more people to the downside, right? It's a vicious game. If you're not ready for the long haul, it's going to beat you up. So either you know what you have and you hold it long term, or you are going to capitulate more than likely. And look, it's a head and shoulder pattern. So I don't know what else to tell everybody, but shoulder, head, and right shoulder. And so I see a move to the downside. So get excited for cheaper Bitcoin, better prices for BTC. And that's what I'm looking at here for BTC. And I can see that bear flag falling to the downside down to 60K. So I can see the bigger idea, the smaller idea. And if the 8-hour ever got back above the 200, if the 1 hour gets back above the 200, then I'll negate this and I'll say, okay, I was wrong. And we can come back to the top of the range. And we'll get stopped out for not too much. It's not the worst thing in the world, right? But if not, we'll be protected from 64.5 and below. Let's see how if this can still has some room here. It's a 2.6 risk reward ratio. I wish it could be a little better, 2.87, right? But that's still a possible short right now too. So there's a short on a smaller time frame. There's a short on a bigger time frame. There's stop losses, entries, and exits. Same here, right? Again, you have to learn this yourself. Understand how to use the short position tool. Understand what a risk-reward ratio is. Use the risk-reward ratio to your favor. But I definitely see movement to the downside, below the point of control. And what's beautiful about this, so what? Like, things don't go well. It goes back the other way. We get stopped out as shorts. We're not losing tons of money. We're not over-leveraged. We're going to get stopped out. It's not like someone that just plowed a bunch of money in the wrong way and now they're going down the tubes, which I see so many people do. If you're going to trade leverage too, you could trade demo. Do this on a demo account and see what happens, right? It's okay. You can too, right? It's, I'll show you here. If you go to futures and you go down to demo trading, all right, and get accustomed to using the buttons, get accustomed to being a part of the whole movement of price action, get accustomed to knowing what it's like to have a trade open while you have to go to the grocery store for your wife or for your husband. You know what I mean? Everybody like associate this with daily life and see how it feels. Well, look, that's a head and shoulder pattern, right? That wants to dump to the downside. You right click this, hit the settings, hit always show stats. When it appears, it'll appear in a second. Always show stats. And look, so like I'd hit the short tool. Your take profit. Look, I'm in demo just to show you what it's like. You're at 60,901. Because shorting's hard. A lot of people don't want to short. So even if maybe you don't short this time, but maybe you learn how to short this time. You see what I mean? Like make life a learning experience and make today the day you're like, all right, I'll demo trade a short. What's the worst that's going to happen? It goes wrong, right? And so our take profit would be like 60,901, 900. And maybe we want to go lower, but that's, a safer idea. And, they give you like 50 grand in this demo account, right? Which I must have blown through 8 or something. So 42,000. So you could say, okay, I'll risk. And let's take a look here. Now it should be let's make sure what's going on. Okay, so 63,968, right? Now it's weird. It's like a 4-to-1. Oh, that's why it's got a $64,000. No, see, yeah, 63,987. See the red? That's it. The green is the entry, and then this green would be the target. 60,920. Just the risk reward ratio. Oh yeah, there it is. It's right. 385. All right. So yeah, we risk 1,000 for $33,000, right? And open up a short, and you can make it a small, like what you usually use. Like what would I risk? And there you go. And like you see why you took this short. You're below 200 MAs, right? Now there's a good divergence there. It could reverse nicely and go and grab the liquidity. I'd much rather be above this area here at 64.5 personally. And then, and then what happens is you do 100 of these and you write down the results. All right. And once you have 100 trades like this and see where you're at, did you make money? What if you ruined it and you lost it? Look, it's down $100 already. It's crazy, right? How fast that changes. But say you lost the trade, right? You document it. What happened? Maybe it was the day you traded too. And then you mark down the days you're trading. Maybe you win more on certain days and you trade those days. Like you got to find a system that works for you. But if you're not going to demo trade, you're never going to find a system that works for you. All right. If the 1 minute breaks back above this, right? That's a scalping mechanism that I use, but I can see the overall market does look more bearish at the present moment in time, but you never know. All right. Let me see if I'm not seeing something after I go through this and I come to my conclusion of where the market's going to go. I then go back at myself again and say, am I seeing something wrong? All right. Do I want it to be a certain way that it's not? So like, then again, there's like, okay, well, there's a low, there's a high. That's a higher low. Like, and I'm like, are they doing that like funky thing where they break us out, broke back inside, and they pump this back to the upside? That's like my weird, again, it becomes a very interesting way to trade. Bounce there. There's some support here. There's some support here. So we can't go lower unless we break 62.8, and then we'd have to break 61.6, you know. And look, you are in a bit of like a cup and handle here, oversold in the 5-minute time frame in a flag. Invert, bit of a cup and handle. 786 money printer, possibly back to the 200. All right. Look, they're ripping they're ripping it back up about. And again, when I open up a big time leverage, like a longer term leverage trade too, just let it sit. You know, you don't run and stare at it every 5 seconds and sweat every $100 move, $200 move. You just got to let it sit. All right. You got to do your assessment, and once you're okay with the assessment, you have to have conviction in your TA. All right. They're going to play games with the price action here and there, but you have to have conviction in your TA. I'm still overall bearish because of what I'm seeing. If the 1 hour breaks back above the 200, I'd love to get stopped out. I'd love to change to bullishness, and I'd love to be okay. But like, I'm not seeing that yet. Like, they're not showing me signs of that move, right? I'm not seeing strength in the bulls. Let's see if we can break above the 200. That'll change the story a little bit. This almost looks like a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Like, I'm just seeing a lot of the charts just keep yelling at me that there's bearishness in the air, right? And there's been a lot of chop recently, and the market's been irregular. It's been doing whatever, you know, up, down, up, down. It's just been all over the place. So I wouldn't be surprised if it just runs right up here and runs right back down. That's the kind of market it's been. So if you don't, I wouldn't feel compelled to trade at all. That's why I'm teaching you demo trading right now. That's why I specifically talked about it, because, you know, you might have just joined a trading group. You might have just, you know, wanted to learn. And this could be some of the hardest market to learn right now. It's like, it's been sideways, then it's chopped, then it's down. But you can overall see that there is a good opportunity to short the market if you pay attention. Like last night was a great opportunity to short. If you were in my trading group, I talked about the idea that once the 8 hour loses the 200, then we're likely going to short the market. And that's still in the money, technically, that short with a stop on the other side, right? That's still in the money. And it may pay even better. This red line, we close below this red line. We go a little closer. Let's come back again. We close below the red line. I mean, it says that we're going back to 59. Okay. And you can see that all the liquidity below us here. Okay. So, and look, this is a demo trade, right? I'm about to say, am I still in demo? Yeah, it should say right there, demo trading, see? Look, it's up $80, right? We'll see, not to brag, but you'll see, like, you know, if you got above this, they would have changed the story. Might have gotten stopped out. And then even feel the rush of the money coming in, like, just like it's a demo trade, but feel the, wow, look how we were up 100, we were down 200, we were back. You know, that's something, if you had real money in there, you're like, do this 10 times, and then the next time you have real money, you're like, yeah, I have to expect to be down $180 and back up $200 and $300. Like, this is like, wow, I'm going to be in I got a lot of money in a leverage trade. You know, I got $3,000 in at 32x leverage, right? Something that I've done many, many times, right? I got accustomed to it over time, okay? I didn't just do it out of nowhere. All right. So I'm bearish. You can see why. I showed you where I believe we're likely going to go. And that's Bitcoin on the day, really. You know, that divergence could change it, but it's unlikely right now at the present moment in time. So, and again, I don't like to be accurate when I'm bearish, but that's just, it's not even me. I'm reading the charts properly and they're giving us an indication. However, at the same time, I got to give it to you. This is a nice divergence until you break this wick low, which looks like it's only a matter of time. And that's the smaller time frames have developed a movement down. Wow, thank you so much. What else? What is that? Oh wow, blueberry bread. I don't think I can eat on stream, but thank you. One really big bite. No, I can't. Yeah, I tried that one time and I felt horrible for it. Some people really don't like listening to someone chomp, you know. And I can't eat. I don't want to eat before my dentist appointment. I'm not even drinking coffee breath too. I never drink coffee, and he's gonna be like, Coffee stains your teeth. I need a napkin now. You know what I'm saying? No napkin. It's so quiet out here. Hello. I'm just... Anyway, so now where is the opportunity? I believe the opportunity is in RWA coins. The opportunity is in AI coins. The opportunity is in the market right now. Let's take a look at total and see what's happening to total 3. Are we going to capitulate in all coins is the question, right? Let's take a look at the weekly. So altcoins had a nice run up, and they bounced nicely on a couple weekly candles, and we're getting very oversold on the weekly, even more so than Bitcoin. Okay, so the altcoins haven't been taking a bit of a hit as BTC. Actually, more people are still into accumulating altcoins now. That's kind of what happens too. It's like it's the subtle beginning of altcoin season, and it's not altcoin season. Let me explain, because it's not the beginning of altcoin season. It's the beginning of when a veteran knows altcoin season is like just beginning its snifflings. It's when Bitcoin's taking beatdowns, but for some reason, altcoins are going down, but not as bad as they were before when Bitcoin's taking a move down, right? And that's kind of like we've seen some up and down movement in Bitcoin dominance. I'm not saying there won't be a major capitulation movement at one point, because there will be, okay? And I would pull a Fibonacci here too and see what's happening. And I mean, we wicked to the golden pocket. We could still come down and clean up that wick. But I'm seeing some interesting price action as well. So, I'll run it back. Run that back. Bounce. So resistance, bounce, bounce. I mean, that's a key level. We lose it, we drop right back down to 500. You can see there's a gap there. We lose it quickly. So, and then we were, and so that could be Bitcoin's 53. We come back down and then we rebuild. And it could be fast. It could be a wick right back up and then bull run back on. So the dumps are fast and furious in a bull run. So just be careful. We are in a bull run. You don't sell and capitulate in a bull run, period. All right. I'm in the long haul for that bull run. Wow. Show number 1,232. Insane. Energy. So anyway, total 3. Interesting. So we know our Bitcoin dominance, total 3. So total 3 leaves this level. We're dropping. And all coins are going to be very cheap to pick up. But there's a chance we don't and we go sideways and we, so today's going to be a big day for Bitcoin. See what happens in these markets, but wow. Any hidden bullish, a little bit of hidden bullish. This does swing down low, but you're pretty high as well. Mixed signals, but oversold on the stochastics is a better story there. And I think the bears would have had way more of a sell-off than they did. Like in that movement, we should have come all the way back down on a weekly dump like that. Like look at that weekly dump and that weekly dump where the bears were in control. The bears are barely in control anymore. About to get a golden cross on the weekly on total 3. So, so we'll see. There's a chance that the US tether doesn't go above that 200. We turn back down. Bitcoin dominance pumps regardless while tether dumps. And that, my friends, would be the winner. All right, let's take a look at the DXY and see what's happening in the DXY. DXY is still in this bull flag on the 12-hour time frame that we watched sideways. Still could break on out. So kind of similar story here to the DXY. Still looking somewhat bullish on the 12-hour time frame. We'd like this to kind of dump. We'd like to get a massive Bitcoin bump, a dump, some right shoulder here, and then boom, look, shoulder, head, right shoulder. Otherwise, this thing is mooning back to the upside and possibly going to 108.95. So still see, some signs here that we will get a massive move in the US tether dominance, DXY, and Bitcoin. Doesn't look amazing just yet here. Let's look at render BTC. So render beat up on Bitcoin, went up 100% against Bitcoin. But so far has been slightly capitulating against Bitcoin. Still in a grandiose uptrend. Seem to have wicked off the uptrend too there. Let me see though. Let me settle this down. Let me settle this bull down here, boy. Something like this. Resistance. Bounce. Resistance. Resistance here and a bounce here too. And it's just amazing how like the market can get so overheated. Just a little pullback will get everybody all in a ball, right? The best prices ever. People will wish they got into the market. The market will get away from them. The prices will come back down and people will be upset. Shout out to the 500 people that hit that like button. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I know it's okay, baby. Up or down, you're going to make money either way if we pay attention. Wow, 63.5 already back for Bitcoin. And I'd much rather get stopped out of that demo trade, right? And you can see I'm not trading because even my edge is like once I see something that one way, the market's been very unpredictable, even probability wise. Despite, I mean, losing the 200 fine, but it's been a wacky move. Look, and that is the money printer back. Can you break the 200 MA now? We keep capitulating at the 200 MAs. Get through, but can you? If not, then the trade stays. If you can, then we're back to the top here. And we did get a reversal. Here, we made it above this one, lost it again. And this just chop at 63,500. It would be amazing if we get back above the 1 hour 200 and we actually get away from this nasty dump. But I'll tell you, 8 out of 10 times when we see red down here, we go for the red too. So at least down to 62.50 or to 61.9 is a high probability, right? Now down 370. And now look, the signal is flashing. It's crazy, right? Above the 200 there. And that's like my real signal. But if it gets rejected there, it's all about that. Why is that level so important? I don't know why. I just learned that it is over time. It must be a programmable bot that just hits that same type of trading situation over and over again. And it uses this as confirmation. I can't explain it. A lot of things people in trading, they want an explanation. It's like, you know, we can explain why the earth turns, I guess, but at one point, like, there's always going to be the next question, why though? Like, you know, why does a star explode and turn into a black hole? Like, why? Well, it does this because of a nebula, and you know, it crushes from its own weight into the force of gravity, and like we could explain it, but then we still don't know the answer truly why. Like, why do we truly live in this circular globe that surrounds the sun, a hot, you know, star? Like, the whole thing will blow your mind, right? If you really sit down and ask yourself down to the very question. And so we can see things happen and know them, and we can even understand the cycles. We don't have to understand why every single time, you know. A lot of beginner traders, they want to know the reason for every single thing happening, which is actually awesome. There's nothing wrong with being inquisitive. Sometimes there's just, that won't help you understand how to use it, you know. Like, we go down when we lose this level. Why? I don't know, but we do, you know. And you could mathematically explain it. Well, it's a moving average, and it's the average area where most people want to see us get back above. We get above it, then we can start to move further back to the upside. It's like the 50-50. We go below it, then we further back down. You know, it's a... And look, they try, if you're right, shorting, usually they'll try to push the market the wrong direction first to make you question yourself, right? But I've just been seeing chop too around, like chop, chop, chop. Look, shoulder, head, right shoulder to the downside. So if you just really take the smaller time frames and just get in and out. So that's what I've been telling students too. If you're going to trade leverage, it's in and out recently. I've just been taking scalps. Taking scalps. I mean, the 8-hour trade's still in the money from last night, technically, but it's not fun to hold when the market's swinging $1,000 here and there, you know. Let's jump into the chat. And again, there's always a different time. The macro showing Bitcoin to 4K. Yeah, it's going all the way to 4,000, man, for sure. You're funny, but I understand what you mean. Shout out to Carlos Shroom. It's a beautiful disaster. Shout out to Elon, Jeff, and Sammy. Bonk. Hello, lifers. Could the 200 estimate be indicated for a pump as it reaches the level of the last time high of the last bull run in 2022? On the daily. Could be interesting to hear your opinion. I'm confused. Same price as a week ago. It's cool. Shout out to Rave Song Records. Problem is people ran out of money. Oh, well. I love beautiful disasters. Right? Bonk, please. It could reach 0.05 again. Thoughts on BVM? The Bitcoin virtual machine. Shout out to Live, Laugh, Love, and shout out to Zach R. So funny in capitulation. This is how you know. Super chats dry up. The whole market just gets tight. You know what I mean? Just last week, it was all love. The halving, it was insanity. It's funny, right? So I can see when the market shifts the most, right? So we were in this beautiful flag, and we boomed out. Came back up. This thing actually still hot a little bit, and went up the additional 27% gains from that little area there. So we almost hit the target of the trade for BONK when I went over it recently, right? Whenever I look at something, my mind's like, I gotta look at the bigger in the smaller picture. So BONK ripped up nicely, but has a nice resistance here that it needs to break. 2. But it definitely broke out of the falling wedge, which is nice to see. And it definitely has some support here at 2.2. You want to see it all the way back to that 5, you said, which is that high, really, almost. Or no, it hasn't gotten there yet, actually. I mean, the 3-day chart says it's just getting started and has more legs, and I trust in the 3-day chart, specifically, too. Once it's capitulated past through the 21, take this whole thing and say, but even right there from this impulse, yeah, you hit the 886, 786 golden pocket. Seems like it even went really low on the fib there to the 886 retracement. I mean, look at that. I mean, it looks more bullish than anything else in the market right now. Look at the 4-hour time frame too. It came down and retested previous support as previous resistance as support. It got above its 200. See, this is above its 200. You see that? As long as it stays above the 200 MA, that's a bullish sign. So BONK does not care. Meme City does not care. It looks like it's going to continue to the upside. Look, lack of momentum in the MACD, turning here. So I like what I'm seeing for BONK on the 4-hour time frame. Just the 1 hour may need to make a flag here first or something like that. But I like what the 4 hour. The 4 hour says you're going to continue to the upside. I'm just going on what the TA says. I don't own any BONK, and you know, looks like it go to 3, 4, 5, 3. So BONK looks hotter than anything I could see on the market today at the moment. Thoughts on Bitcoin virtual machine, BVM? Let's take a look at BVM here in BVM network. All right, on the daily. So not enough information to see it on the daily. I remember going over this recently, and it's like so early to tell really how it could perform. And you really need the market to be bullish for all these new cool projects to come out. When a new project comes out and we're not that bullish, it can be hectic. Falling wedges break out 68% of the time. Overbought on the 4 hour time frame. See, it's got a bit of a cup and handle here. I think everything's watching Bitcoin too, though. So like Bitcoin takes a dump, this thing will dump, but it's in a little flag and it's getting oversold. Says it could pump back up to the 200 MA. All right. Bitcoin toying with 63,500 yet again, just battling that area. Looks like it might go flat. And I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin stays flat all the way until the Fed meeting or just just goes from 61 to 64, or just stays in a very strange range until Fed meeting. That's like a bit of a cup and handle. You do have some support here because you've bounced right here multiple times. Bounce, 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 resistance, resistance. You flipped it again. Second you go below 361, you're probably going for maybe a new low or at least a double bottom. But if you stay above 361, the chance you're on your way back to the 200 and 458. So you're definitely not buying an over. If you think the project's amazing and you've done your research, right? Which I'm not in love with this project enough to do that. But if you are, to me, I mean, undervalued areas are what I look for. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. I'm just a guy going over a chart. But you got to have conviction and education. If you have the education and the conviction, then that's on you. You go for the gusto. All right. Baby Dogecoin, Moo the Bull, Hedera, and Bitcoin trending today. All right. And again, I bought some Bitcoin today. Did you? Fast Token still on the radar. Rollbit still on the radar. Popcat, Open Fabric, and Alien Base. Some coins that I'm watching the last few days. And some other coins too that we're going over as well in the trading group. Shout out to our channel sponsor, Decrypted.tax. If you need to get your taxes done, amend your taxes, or just you want a second opinion. Maybe things didn't go the first time and you want to kind of double check on what's happening, which I think is a smart idea, specifically with cryptocurrency. Enjoy 25% off the standard pricing if you're a crypto lifer. So hit Decrypted.tax, get a free consultation to book now, and find out more information at Decrypted.tax. So, and get crypto lifers special pricing. I'm telling you right now. So basically, if you're in the trading group or you know me or you just watch the channel and you call yourself a lifer, you're getting hooked up through my connection right here immediately. And you're getting the best service, in my humble opinion, a dedicated person that cares, knows, and really has the knowledge to help you and to get you into a better place when it comes to your taxes. Shout out to Decrypted.tax. Thank you so much. That's Decrypted.tax if you want to check them out below there. All right. Shout out to I Trust Capital. As far as taxes go as well, planning for retirement, which is something that everybody, I believe, should be doing. That's what I was doing when I was buying BTC on the low for a long time ago. It was preparing for my retirement, right? Getting myself ready for a longer term idea, creating wealth for my family. And I Trust Capital helps you do that inside of a Roth IRA or more. Talk to a professional, find out what's going on. Your CPA or someone else, maybe even Ernest, may help you. So you could go to Decrypted.tax, get that free consultation, and then even ask them about I Trust Capital. They go hand in hand, those two sponsors, and you'd find out a lot about wealth creation. And again, it's about getting the knowledge from people that are there. Before I ever had an accountant, I had no idea what I was doing. My accountant changed my life. They have knowledge that you do not. They'll teach you about businesses, how to start an LLC, how to start an S-Corp, what's going on, the differences, things that I wasn't taught because I was, my parents didn't own businesses like that. So if you were raised like me and you don't understand a lot of this stuff, getting professional help is a big deal. All right. And it's very important, in my humble opinion, to understand your options, at least when it comes to retirement and your taxes. Why not get a free consultation? What's the worst thing that could happen? It won't hurt. And again, you don't have to. I don't feel like I'm pushing it. I'm not trying to push it. I'm just saying. All right. So there's the signal above the 200, right? And the signal right there. Every time they go above the 200, enter the trade. Bang, right? Cup and handle could make it back to the upside. But look how overbought those Stokes are. And usually that's what happens. They get flushed when you get above the 200. And then they go for the short squeeze. Still, I would love to see it move all the way back to the upside. I'm still not buying it, but there's a chance. I mean, look, you bounce off the 786. This is the money printer. You had your divergence. You came back to the 786, and boom. You hit the 200. You got above the 200, which is double money on the money printer. Just getting to the 200 is all you need. I'm just not buying the trades today on a Thursday and these little tiny moves. Don't get too excited by these little, bing bong, right? So we got BVM, looked at Render BTC. Palm AI is another coin that has a pretty big roadmap coming its way. I own Palm AI. I don't know the team at all, but it's interesting to see what's happening. An airdrop utility web app, AI voice calls, WeChat, and Shopify integration. This thing is going to be pretty big, in my humble opinion. Coming Q2 2024. So I'm excited to see and make sure they hit all their roadmaps. That's going to be important to see. All right. Even have token burns for migration, continue with the LP staking program. That was just recently in Q1. So deflationary token in a way over time. All right. They're 20% through Q2 completion. They nailed all of their progress. Nailed it all. Look, checked it all off the list. And they're going to show you as they check things off the list here as well. All right. So you can watch them complete their roadmap right here on palmai.tech roadmap and see what they're doing. I like that. Transparent about their movement, transparent what's happening. Palm AI. I own some Palm AI. I will disclose. Short squeezing them to the upside right now, right? That's why I always buy spot Bitcoin whenever I see a dump, because you never know. You may never get those prices again anytime Bitcoin takes a beat down. Again, like my signal is when that's really overbought. So like now they're flushing this. It just they're bending and spinning all sorts of indicators lately and just kind of flushing the price around. Now, if the 5-minute breaks the 200, we're in business. Technically, is an inverted head and shoulder, is it not? Supposed to break to the upside. $15-minute flip. 30-minute has a bullish div on it. And then the 1 hour bullish div, which is, I mean, that's a strong, I have to be honest, that's a very strong bullish divergence. Very strong. It was the last time we saw one that strong on the 1 hour time frame. It was right here. It was like this one. And it was a class C. It was just, that's far more sharper than that. You see how the divergence just means if that keeps going and that keeps going and they'll hit each other, divergence. But that's the last, really strong divergence we had. Now they would bring it up, back down again. Look how they would disrespect the divergence only to rip like that. That's crazy price action. You don't see that type of movement. That's very strange. After a divergence, you very unlikely see a wick like that. Or after a wick like this, do you see a divergence? I'm telling you, it's not usual price action at all. Here's another strong divergence on the 1 hour, right? We could be here, right? What they're going to do is bring the price up again, dip it again, and they've just been vicious, even on the proficient trader who might go right at the divergence with the stop here. They went and grabbed that. You see what I mean? They've been nasty with it. So just be careful. Even if you're precise, they may get you. They may get you anyway. It's been tough. I'm being honest with you. It's been very tough trading. That divergence is pretty nice. And again, I opened up a demo trade. I get it. It could be slammed, right? But that's why it's an insurance trade. You can expect, what if it, And I'm still not buying it all. Like, you know what I mean? That's why you leave the trade alone. Either get stopped out or it doesn't. And I'm not rushing into a long right now, even though I'm getting some FOMO for a long because we got above my movement, but I'm just still not buying it. Again, we have to break back above this. The 1 hour would have to break the 200 for me. This would be when I would buy into the divergence. So, because of the sketchiness of price action, I'm not going to buy into the divergence unless the divergence shows me that it had the power to break the 200. If that's the case, then I know we can get back through this gap, and then we can start talking about 67,000 again. All right? And I'm open-minded. See, that's why I stay open, because I could still open up a long later on today if I see that occur. If I don't see that occur, I'm just not buying the divergence. They're fishing me. They're just they're trying to get me in to open up a long so they can stop me out down here. They're just trying to balance liquidity again. And I'm not buying it. Just not buying it. Here's the deal too. See if we make some type of flag here now. If we made a flag here, then I'd buy the sauce a little more and maybe trade this. What if we just go right back down and lose the 200 again? Unlikely. See how the 50's coming? It looks like we may want to get a golden cross here, which tells me there may be a nice sign. And this is what I do. This is what's called the Twisted Sister. I make two patterns, and I wait for price action to pick one. I do this on multiple time frames, on multiple assets around the world, right? You can pull a Fibonacci from here now. Now you're looking for a fair value gap, which you had right here and you kind of tapped into. All right. You see these candles do not touch. And what is a fair value gap? You can see a gap where this order block did not hit that order block. Okay, boom, boom. Not order block, whatever, candle body, whatever you want to call it. Like, technically, a candle in itself is an order, is a block of orders, right? I mean, that's what it is. Anyway, but, you know, and we capitulated right into, we half-wicked right into the order block, only to get rejected by that area of contention. Liquidity, right? Liquidity, boom. So now, and again, did you see any, and again, that fair value gap here was closed. We didn't even have one. There's one right there, but you got into it. Look how you keep dipping into the fair value gaps too. Look, right here was one. From that wick to this candle, and you dipped right into there before you binged right off of it. Bang. It's crazy, right? So now we do expect some type of movement. Why? Right here. Because we got above the 200 on the one. All right. And so look, could we start some type of consolidation? Now you keep the insurance shirt open. And again, you have to balance what you got in your trades and what you could handle a loss and all that. You know, there's more going on than just like, that's why trading is more than just like, oh, do I just trade with this? You got to, what is your risk reward ratio? What are you willing to lose? Damn, I saw that about to move. You see that? I was late to it. Bang. How could I see that happening? Well, the stochastics got low and curved. And whenever they curve aggressively, it tells me there's a move coming. Now, I wouldn't chase that. I feel like the entry was here. So, look, above the 200 SMA, touching the 21 and low stochastics. Now, just because this is happening doesn't mean it's all gravy today. Like, oh, wow. But, I mean, that's a nice short squeeze. And, look, my demo account now is in the short squeeze, you know. Again, they could just jump it up and run it back down again, right? This could just be a squeeze. Well, it depends. Now I'm trying to see if we get back above the 1 hour 200. See, now I'm like, okay. Look, we went right through the fair value gap. Now you have resistance right here at 63.8. You break above 63.8,000, well, it's 63.880, right? Then you can get to this measured move. Look, this flag here, basically the target takes you, what, 63, yeah, 63.9, 64K. I was about to make that trade live in front of you guys before it capitulated. It just went too fast for me. I didn't have a chance to get in before, but I was about to get into the, yeah, I know you may not believe me or not, but I was. That's why I went to this, that's why I went here. Man, because I just saw what I usually go for, right? Which was the 21 and the curving and the flag. And I said, we got above the 200. We came back down to the Stokes and stayed above the 200. Usually that's my message for a long. Bang. And look, we just hit the target of this flag perfectly. So crazy. I hope someone was able to take that trade. And I'll be honest with you, like, I'm moving in 2 days, 3 days. The anxiety of the move, I already feel like I'm in a 10 trades right now. And so compiling more trading onto my brain is just, my mind's telling myself not to do it. But I wish I was about to make that live trade anyway and go against my rules. That's why I made a live demo trade, which I've never done. I've made a live demo trade like twice, right? Because I'm like, I'm in it for the adrenaline. I want to see the live trade. I want you guys to see me put real money in the trade. Look, golden cross coming too, which is a bullish sign. Still not amazing. Remember, we have to get back above the 200 SMA, but we did. Look, now we're finally getting the bullish divergence to play out a little bit here. Again, the way they've been going after it, though, I wouldn't be surprised if they turn this. Sorry. If they turn this, go after everyone, come back, and then, you know what I mean? They just been super grimy, especially with this. Like, they just been really aggressive with the wicking. All right. Wow, beautiful move for Bitcoin. And why do I have this bigger idea? Well, it would be the whole, like that wick all the way up to this wick. Likely says we can get all the way back to 64,000. That demo trade is in the dumps right now. I don't even want to look at it. But that's the thing about it. You can learn your lessons without having to lose tons of money. Agreed, you know? That's really like the beauty of that. It's funny, look, the above the 200 on the 1 second chart was just a beautiful call. I swear I'm going to trade when I get back to Florida and everything gets situated. I'm putting 5 to 10 grand in my account, and I'm only trading this 1 second and the 1 minute like all day long, over and over again. Like I would get out whenever we cross. I'd get in when we get above and get out there and just call it a day. 1 to 2 and call it a day. Make that the trade. You know, that's a beautiful trade right there. That's all you need every day is a couple of these. You could even just look one there, one there, one there, and one there, and that one was unbelievable. That's all you need. And you're done for the day. You know? That's it. Move on. Do that, you know, for a few weeks. Turn 5 grand into 10 grand, 5 grand into 15. Take 5 grand out, buy some Bitcoin. Take 5 grand out, buy some altcoins. Do it again. All right? You do have to have your mind clear. You got to be heavily focused. That has to be the goal. And that's it. I'm going to trade this time frame. I'm going to trade this signal. I'm going to attack. You know exactly what you're going to do. You know how you're going to do it. You know when you're going to do it. You know how much you're going to use. And you do it. That's trading. People think trading is something different than that. No. So look, you missed the last trade. You don't capitulate and run in. You don't get pissed and just take your emotions out. You say, okay, I know the Stokes have to reset again. I know the 21 has to come back to price. And then I know we have some supportive resistance here. So draw your supportive resistance lines that matter. So, okay, can we bounce there or there? And then, now I've seen a lot of price action, so I've, you know, a good imagination doesn't hurt, right? And then imagine what you would like price to look like if you wanted to get inside a trade. I'd like to look something like this, right? Some type of flag would be cool. We don't know exactly how it's going to go, right? What we do know is it has to come back to the 21-day moving average. It's too far away for the 21. And again, that's why when you get above when you hit the 21, out at the stochastics in, out. When you get above the dotted line and start the curve and you start to see a little capitulation, out. In and out. In and out. In and out. All right. This I was able to turn 5 grand into 7 grand over and over again, week after week, right? And just buy altcoins with that money. All right. And it takes time. And knowing when, like if you have a wedding coming up, all right, you say you're planning a wedding with your wife, it's 2-3 days before the wedding. Let's just go through what should you be opening up leverage trades a couple days before the wedding? Anybody out there? May God continue to bless you and your family. Thank you, Andrew G. We love you. Hey, please check COLT Collateral Network. It's a platform launch next month. Thank you for saying that. Shout out to Ion Crypto. Shout out to Jedi M. Second pair of eyes on Floki, please. Thoughts on BVM, BONK. Let's take a look at Floki for Jedi for real. Make sure we're in a live chat. Totally sounds like something I do. Remove 50 points from your IQ and you will do better in crypto. Bitcoin did hit 64 earlier, then it dumped. Yeah. No 2 days before everything should be done. You're funny. Sell your house to future trade PEPE. Well, hope it doesn't, should say. Don't leverage alone like naughty kids. Full send, you're already losing half, right? Weekly sold chart looks like a cup in handy. Stokes low as well. Cup not perfect. Bear. Plan the plan, not the outcome. I like that. Plan the plan, not the outcome. So look, the Stokes curved. We wicked almost to the 200. So we became pretty bullish pretty fast here. You can say this flag wants to just get busy now and rip again to the upside. And the short squeeze is on, apparently, for Bitcoin. There's the short squeeze right there for BTC into the $64,000 region. Still got all that liquidity below us, right? So they could just be kind of sucking people up before they crush us down. I mean, they got me twisted. I'll be honest. They got me second guessing price action. So I'm like, you know, and if I'm doing it, I do it every day. So I got to, you know, look, I mean, up and down, left and right. And remember, volume's going to start to dry up soon. So, I mean, it doesn't have to. Nothing's guaranteed. But most of the time, by 2 o'clock on Thursday, we'll start to get that sideways price action. We defended. We could have gone lower. We defended 63,000 pretty nicely. We capitulated off of 62.8. We made an inverse head and shoulder and stopped the pain. See, you can't just move. You have to. This is what's. I just want you to understand this. Every time there's a massive dump, look for this. Look for this. Look for the bullish div, and look for the shoulder, head, and right shoulder. That's how we get back to the upside. 90% of every single dump will look very similar to this. Otherwise, we'll continue to make a flag, and we'll dump to the downside out the flag. Like this made a bear flag, right? And then we continue down. And where we're going to go, always take your poll. If you're not sure where we're going to go, look at your previous dump. Look at that line of a dump, and that's where your next line of a dump is going to take you. 1 to 1, okay? Key concepts. $63,780 for Bitcoin. And again, I'm not buying any of this till we get above the 200 on the 1 hour. That's a have to happen for me. We must do that. If you don't get above this yellow line, expect more downside. This is all shenanigans. It's all for show. It's all just to pull in long so they can bring more stop losses here to shred people to the downside. They're like, oh, that nice bullish div. I'm going to trade on that reversal. That's the reversal. And that's why if we wait for confirmation, and I've even seen them fake it up here and then come down, but at least I get some of that trade, move my stop loss to break even, and I win that. You get it? This one, no guarantee. So I feel safer trading the 200 than anything else because it gives me the most protection. All right. And it gives me the highest probability of a win rate. That's why, I traded a bunch of different things and I went back to this because of the win rate over time. All right. Again, you'll figure these things out on your own if you learn the lessons in which I teach you. All right. Look, PEPE is the only thing up today. Like PEPE's got its own little thing going, right? So PEPE BTC. Let's look at PEPE for whatever reason doing damage today. People just like PEPE coin, man. Wow, look at that thing. So I had it in this little flag like everything else, but, most things didn't break out. This thing did break out of the flag. Getting a little overbought on the daily, but no real bearish divergence. If it can get above this resistance, it could continue to the upside. PEPE, baby. Wow, look at the 4 hour for PEPE. Actually looking really nice. So I see PEPE continuing on the 4 hour time frame. It's just getting started. I don't see why PEPE won't move. So, I know I usually wouldn't buy a breakout, but even buying PEPE here with a stop loss below the 200 like that, man, it's a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. Would have liked to have gotten at the lower point. But, look, PEPE got above its 200, retested the 200. That's bullish to me. Very bullish. And the moving average is looking good too as well. It may consolidate a little bit here, but I like what PEPE's doing. I could see Pepe doing some damage. So Pepe looks interesting to me, even on the 15-minute, even on the 1 hour, even on the 4 hours. So the 4 hour says, hey, I've got more movement here. So again, we'll have to hit this resistance and get above it. Otherwise, we'll make an M pattern. But I could see Pepe continuing. The next target for Pepe is about 10,500. All right. And that's going to knock off a 0. So it looks like Pepe is about to eat a 0 here. And that's its all-time high. Right. And Pepe's very, very close to its all-time high. I don't think people realize. Am I wrong here? I just want to make sure I'm not like. Yeah, Pepe's about to break its all-time high. I don't think people realize Pepe's been slowly creeping up. Very interesting. So Pepe on the low is showing signs of strength compared to the rest of the market. Again, it has to break above this point of control and this resistance. It could just make an M pattern and dump with everything else, and then it will lose the 200 on the 4, and this will all be for nil. But I see the 50 coming, the 200. That's a bullish sign for Pepe. So Pepe coin is actually showing strength. And look, there's Pepe BTC only on Bitfinex, but that's been beating up Bitcoin nicely, and looks like it's about to beat up on Bitcoin again. So the Pepe BTC coin, dude, Pepe. And does that mean that all coins, most memes are gonna beat up on Bitcoin? You know why? Because people that aren't, see, it's almost like people that are into Bitcoin are like long-term Bitcoin people. People that are into Pepe are just like gonna buy the newest thing. So they're not really the same people. Like a lot of people believe they've been priced out of Bitcoin too, due to the ETFs, the big money. Some people still think you have to buy a whole Bitcoin. And when it hits 70,000, even at 70,000, 0.1 Bitcoin, $7,000. These people coming in, they want to spend 500, 600, do $1,000. They're just buying crypto for the first time. So what are they going to buy? Bitcoin, or they want to buy Pepe coin. And so, you know, with the popularity of cryptocurrency, it gives us that idea that Pepe coin may start to make a bit of a move. All right. I wanted to talk about one other thing here that I believe is going to be a very, very big deal. All right. I put out a tweet about it yesterday, and I just kind of want to break it down. But, you know, the TON network at $18 billion market cap, which, where did that come from, right? Huge. Number 9 coin in the space now. One of the biggest cryptocurrencies out of nowhere, right? Binance Smart Chain, I mean, not out of nowhere with the entire ecosystem that it had behind it. You have to remember, TON already has Telegram behind it, which is a big deal. It's on MEXC, HDX, KuCoin, Bybit, BitGet, BigX. It's everywhere. All right? It's everywhere. Now, the thing about this is they're printing Tether on it. And if you go to the website, you're going to be able to get your own. And if you even go to if you go to your Telegram, you're going to be able to get this cool new wallet just by typing in, you know, the wallet. So look, making cross-border payments instant, free, and easy is sending a test message for Telegram's 900 million users. The foundation offers 11 million ton incentives, right? Check out this thread and learn more. So see this? We're going to the concert of Paris. Cool. Yeah. $50 send via wallet. Unexpected. Bang. So you can just send money to each other through your TON address now. Pretty awesome. All right. Pretty awesome. So now, I mean, look at that. Just skyrocketing out of the move. Low stochastic, touching the 21 again. And there was the next entry, right? Bang. Bang. And so this is how I execute all day. Once I get above a 200, I just start taking the flags over and over again. And that's usually when we, now we're squeezing shorts with liquidity above us. And that's why I bought that Bitcoin on the low, right? Everyone's like, why did he buy Bitcoin? I always buy Bitcoin whenever it's down because I never know if I can get that price again in the red. Nice move to 64,000 for Bitcoin. Beautiful, unexpected. Look at the crazy, nasty short squeeze for BTC there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And again, I mean, the signal was buy whenever you get above the 200. That's it. And then hold, baby. And just trading the signal over and over again prints money. And I teach my students this daily and show you guys the signal right when it happened. Bang. That flag played out, then this flag played out. And again, if you miss the signal, it's the low stochastics on the 21 that produced the gains. Unbelievable, right? Pretty crazy how this plays out over and over again. Will we go to the target? Usually we will. 64,361. Can we break the 1 hour 200? Now if we do that, boom. And now you're seeing that the bullish divergence is playing out on the 1 hour time frame. Beautiful bullish div there to the upside here for Bitcoin. And scooping up altcoins on the low for the last few days might end up be, advantageous here for Bitcoin. So it's not all doom and gloom here. And again, then we also, we got to get back above that 8 hour. We're not that far away from it. And actually, look at everything. That's a bullish pin bar on the 8 hour. If that closes that way, that could be a bullish candle, a bullish reversal candle back to the upside for Bitcoin. Anyone that bought in here may have gotten the last $62,000 Bitcoin ever. You never know. You have to start thinking about it that way. You have to be open-minded to that. That could have been the last time you ever buy 62,000. But Sam, you were so bearish. You just said we're going all the way to the downside. You built the most bearish picture ever. I did. If we can't get back above this 200 on the 8 hour, but we get back above this and look, and I'm reading candles. That candle is a bullish candle now. This candle closes like that in the next 5 hours and 43 minutes. That tells a different story here than the day began. Okay. It deleted all the work there. Crazy, right? And did the 1 second got above the 200, and that's the next signal. It's just so crazy. Just trading this 1 second chart over and over again. It's like they know what they're doing on this 1 second, right? Oh, there it came back. Well, 1 second says we pump up to 64,369, right? As long as we stay above that 200, we hang out with it. Look at that. Just buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, right? That's an algorithm. And then it's chopping price into a tighter zone, or it's going to have to explode. There it goes. Gone. Gone with the wind. Come back for the bullish retest off the top of the channel, which I've seen so many times, and then bounce. Bounce off the top of the channel like you're supposed to. Don't make me look stupid now in front of everybody. Don't do that. Don't do that. Now you lose the 200 and you're done. Oh, you played games. You played yourself right there. You played yourself. So volatile. I didn't trade that, just to make it clear. I haven't traded any of this. I did. I'm a little upset I missed the 1 minute breaking its 200 right there. That's a beautiful trade. Bang. To the upside. Like, that's all we need. We could be out right now for the day. That's all we needed. The short right here, the long right there. Call it a day. Short that, long that. If you got that short, great. That long might have taken you for a loop, but we had a head and shoulder that told you to get out, right? So we uncovered the hottest coin in the game right now, PEPE, right, which is showing signs of life. Let's take a look at what else is hot right now. TON's coming, like DCAing into TON, or just understanding that the TON ecosystem will be big, and, starting to look at some of the memes and some things that are going on with TON are a big deal. All right. Wormhole up 5% in the last hour. WorldCoin, SEI back in the mix at 63. I like SEI too. I like Dog with Hat. Still things that I would be accumulating, in my humble opinion. ENA coming back to 88. That's great because that thing got too high above a buck. Ondo's a great pickup, in my humble opinion. Ton's a great pickup. Gala's a great pickup here. Jupiter's a great pickup, anywhere between 80 and a buck. I mean, still, like, Beam's a great pickup, anywhere between 2 and 3 cents. Near Protocol's a great pickup. BitTensor, if it goes to 350, great pickup, in my humble opinion. Just like, still a lot of great projects out here. Celestia, great pickup, between 5 and 8 bucks if it goes that low. Python Network, a great pickup. Like, these are You know, fetch network, anywhere between $1.50, it's going to do that whole connection. Already when BRC20s come back up and running. Cardano, injective protocol. I see so many undervalued projects right now that are going to do numbers in this bull run. Chainlink at $14, like, so Casper right now too. I just see a lot of good pickups that no one's paying attention to, just leaving it right out there. People are fiending for Node AI. Hasn't been doing great with price action, but people seem to like that coin a lot too as well. It's funny, all the action came today. People left the stream a little early and the action came at the end of the stream. That was the move right there to the upside, out that flag. Bang. The first flag after we broke above the 200 was a beautiful signal. This actually is now, you know, doing something like this. Coming back to the 21 again. Setting up for another pump. Let's take a look here on the perpetual. That looks like it wants to get busy back to 64.8. I'm telling you, every time I gobble up Bitcoin on the low, I'll never regret it. Always be a good look. So 64.723. Stop would be at 63.850. Be the third one in a row. 1, 2, 3 with low Stokes touching the 21. It would be 3 for 3 if this plays out back to at least even halfway to the target. We could be seeing an elongated consolidation here. I'm open-minded to both of these possibly happening. And it could even be an M pattern resistance at 64,000. Interesting enough, though, we just broke the 200 on the 15, on the 5, which is a bullish sign, right? That's something that I would even look at like, so more like, wow. So that makes it more interesting to trade. If you hold above it, then there's a good chance that's the same signal we just got on the 1 minute, but now you get it on the 5. So that's, I always teach too, if you miss the 1 minute signal, look for the 5 minute to give you the same signal. Like a strong candle to close above this. You got 2 so far. This would be the 3rd candle closing above it. So you kind of watch the 1 minute in tandem make that consolidative pattern while you watch the 5 minute stay above the 200. Watching those two time frames in tandem while you attack the long here. Again, the Stokes will eventually be high when you get above them. They usually get pressed when the push comes, and then we'll reset. That's the only one thing that throws you off about some of these entries is the stochastics won't be in the perfect entry place because of the momentum of the indicator when you're above that 200. So like I'll snatch that because it's such a bullish indicator, right? And kind of trade into that position. Now that we know we're above the 5 minute 200, we can look for this to continue on the 1 minute. Agree? You know what I'm saying? And then we look for the short squeeze to continue here on Bookmap. A little liquidity just get built at 65.2 now. You see that? That wasn't there before. So now there's a whale saying, okay, I'll jump in on this. Give me some liquidity up here. We can ride it further up to 65.2. That way, getting out of possibly 64.7, 64.8 might be a nice in the middle place to snatch an in and out movement here. Now, the main reason this trade's going well is that 5 minute is going to hold this 200. The second the 5 minute decides not to hold this yellow line, the trade's a wrap. It's sad to say, and it doesn't have to happen every time. It happens most of the time. When's the last time the 5 minute got above this 200? Right here for little snibbles, you know. But after a dip right there, and we had a really nice move back up. Doesn't mean every time you're going to get a run, though. But it can be a very bullish sign. Seeing some bearish div now on the 1 minute, though, too. They could kind of end that scenario as well. I mean, bearish divergence there, see? So now you need that rising wedge to go parabolic kind of idea. This would just be a big runner. I got dentist anxiety now. You ever have dentist anxiety? Like, who here loves the dentist? Who here like gets excited the day they go to the dentist? They like can't wait. They're like, yeah. 4-hour green dot. Cat Moto on CoinMarketCap now. Thank you. Exactly the right words, parabolic. We market buy. Life or long at 63.8. We market buy. I missed out on thousands and thousands of Bitcoin because I'm scared to buy. My TA is spot on. But I'm just too fearful. No confidence. Yeah, I mean, you got to have a long-term idea then. Just be like, I'm in it for the long term. If you're in it for the long term, and that's what the demo account should help you with over time, just understanding, just play the demo account over and over again. You keep getting ripped up, just change it up. Do something different. Keep trying different things until something works. You know what I'm saying? You can't do the same things over and over again and expect the same results. See, now we're kind of in this flag, and we're respecting the flag here. To remember, the 5 minute got above that 200. If it can hold that, you got yourself a move here. If not, then it's a wrap. And you have to be okay with that. Now, if you execute that over and over again and it pays, then you'll understand why I execute it over and over again the way I do. Okay? I love the dentist. Just listen in time, my friend. Just start with small amounts. I went yesterday. I was tortured. Hey, Sam, what's that song? I don't know. Hit the panic button. I'm a dentist. Oh, wow. Thoughts on SMC trading? Man, the 5-year chart on the NASDAQ makes me feel bearish about the next 7 months. Oh, baby, pull my teeth out and charge me an arm and a leg. I love to go to the dentist. Amazing. Super chats, Colt and Floki. Collateral network. That thing is in the dumps, man. So I wouldn't touch it unless it rounded a bottom. And it started to show some lower highs along the way. But yeah, that's tough. Hope it looks good. I don't know. You said it's a cool thing. I don't know what it is. I'll look at it another time, just not now. I'm sorry. Well, I'll just type it in. What is it? What did it do me? Let's take a look at COLT. Remember, Bitcoin pumps in 2 seconds. The whole world's back screaming about it. This market's fickle, man. So Collateral Network is a next-generation crowd lending platform that allows people from around the world to borrow against real-world assets using blockchain technology. A proprietary lending platform will provide providers with quick access to loans in the blockchain at competitive rates. This is achieved by minting NFTs that are backed by the borrower's physical assets, enabling our community to become fractional lenders. Collateral makes it easy for you to get the most from your assets while holding your own keys. Realize the full potential of your assets through our bespoke earning and borrowing solutions. Interesting. No credit footprint, ever. A private and confidential transaction. Low affordable fees that are agreed upon at an upfront on-chain. I mean, this is how it should be, right? But it could end up bad, too, if it's not done right. Anyway. I'm getting my first implant. My goal is to earn enough for dental implants and stem cell therapy in Mexico. Buy the blood, surf the Kahlua. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, Bitcoin's looking pretty bullish here on the smaller time frames now. That flag played out, starting to pump nicely to the upside. So that trade is up now, right? And it looks like it's going to pump pretty nicely. As you can see, it formed a nice little mover here, and we're above that 205, which tells me that a big move is coming for Bitcoin. So I leave you with a long that is in the green. We'll see what happens. But so far, so good on my real account, right? Can you check BONK, please, sir? For the $20 super chat from Victor Carriga. Thank you, Victor. We appreciate that. This is very nice of you. Funny, it's like the second coming. Remember, BONK was the first thing to pump, so it's like the first thing to begin to pump again. It's almost like the beginning of the next rally coming for BONK. So I last put BONK in this flag here. Said it was likely going to continue to go to the upside to 3453. Told you I could see BONK doing numbers, PEPE doing numbers. BONK, PEPE, a lot of these whiff. So memes are hot today. The 4-hour looks amazing. Look, the 4-hour says it's going to continue to pump. That's the smaller. The bigger idea is this idea. So just like PEPE, BONK and PEPE look like they're going to do numbers today. Look at the 4-hour. It's aggressively pointing up with more movement to come. I mean, 80% of the time when I see that in the stochastics, we do get more of a pump to the upside. That puts BONK at like 3781 from 3453. Something to possibly put on your radar. Layer 1 XL1X on CoinGecko. Launches May 7th. Bitmart, Mexi, Loon after L1X on CoinGecko. Can you please look at ICP? Shout out to Marcus. Thank you for the super chat. We love you. We appreciate you. And look, now it's double top M pattern there for Bitcoin. That looks bearish. Right back down to the 200. You see rejection. Sketchy price action for me personally. I'm not into heavily trading leverage right now. Until the market just kind of starts to get cleaner back above the 200. We start to get, what I see is succession of movement. All altcoins dumped, so nothing special about H-bar pullback. Yeah. All right. ICP. I mean, it had a nice run up. It's either in like a Livermore cylinder here or something, or it's going to make a right shoulder and dump. So if Bitcoin's going to take the bigger move like I'm showing you, you got a gap here too. It doesn't look good to me. All right. So like I would like it to break back above 15 so I can negate the head and shoulder and act like it never happened. And then maybe we'll see what happens in some type of symmetrical triangle or something. But right now it doesn't look amazing to me. All right. Hey, Sam, thanks for all your continued efforts. You're amazing. Just wondering what your thoughts are on vector candles and if they could be useful. The vector candle. I just use what I use, man. I can't talk about things I don't use. Like if I had a boat with 250 horses, I tell you that's how I do it. And you'd be like, well, what about a boat with 3? Or what about with 175? They're like, well, that's great, but I don't use that boat. So I wouldn't be able to tell you about that boat. All right. Elon, Jeff, Peter Pan farming. Interesting. Can you check 8? I sold my AMP and bought Bitcoin. All right, everybody. I love you. I appreciate you. I still see way more liquidity down here. It does suggest we go lower. We're still below the 8-hour 200 SMA. We didn't break the 1 hour. So my rules haven't been flipped to bullish yet. We're still bearish. Don't get too excited here. Quick little moves on the 1 hour does not mean I'm overly bullish just because we're trading bullishly on the 1 hour, on the 1 minute. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll be back tomorrow for our last studio stream Friday, right? Tonight is our weekly screen share too as well from 8:30 to 10:30. And then I pack up my studio again for the second time because I packed it up the first time, but I was able to bring it back. I still use 3 monitors now. It's not the perfect setup. I'm 3 monitors down, but I got my regular computer and 3 monitors, so I'm back, and I got my mixer, so I'm back to normal. And the camera's been good too. It's been closer to me, which has made it, I think, better and more visual. So there's been some good things about the last few days. So everyone, thank you so much for your constant viewership and your love. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to break it down again. You never know. We could be up huge tomorrow. The whole market could change. Take it one step at a time, one moment at a time. And just remember, your life is the opportunity. If you get up and down about this market, remember, your life is the opportunity. Today is your life. Don't let this market take away your ability to believe in yourself, breathe in the fresh air, and believe that you have what it takes just to be amazing. And make sure that you go out with a positive attitude every day. Control your attitude. You're in control of it. Stop letting the world make you think you're depressed. Oh, the world, I'm like this because of traffic. I'm like this because of that. Stop letting other things make you feel a certain way. You can, you will. You are the best. Believe in yourself. Right? I have to believe in myself every day. If I got out here and let the market get me down, where would my channel go? What would happen to my life? Right? So we all are in control of our lives by being, mentally in belief that we are the opportunity. It's so important that you take control and you become the positive force in your life. Therefore, you are the positive force in your life. Remember that. You're way more in control than you realize. Do not let these negative forces into your life. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll be back tonight for our weekly screen share. We'll have a blast. We'll talk about what's going down, and we'll see what happens in the market together throughout the day. Stay blessed. I love you all, and stay focused. I'll see you on the screen share and tomorrow for our next beautiful live stream. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Gratitude is the attitude of abundance. You must stay grateful for everything that you do have, and not break yourself down for what you don't have. That will get you nowhere and only create negative energy. You must positively reinforce yourself every day. Don't you understand? You're the reason you're feeling bad. You're the reason you're feeling good. It's you. You're in control. Don't lose control. I love you all. Have a great day.